What is up, guys? Deadset here. Blizzcon 2014 ended, and while Diablo was not exactly in the spotlight, with Heroes of the Storm beta, Hearthstone expansion pack, and of course Overwatch taking up the prime time, we still got to hear about some of their plans for the future of Sanctuary. This video is dedicated to my thoughts and feelings on the subject. Stay a while and listen. Alright, let's begin with what I was happy with. What everybody expected did indeed take place, and new items and sets were announced, along with reworks of old, affixless items and improvements to underplayed sets. This is the favorite bit for many, and with good reason. With every new item, or especially a set, a new build of, admittedly varying viability opens up. The Barbarian set is a feel-good throwback to the spin-to-win days, as Whirlwind and Rend will be the bread and butter of the Wrath of the Waste set. The Wizard set and New Bracer focus on the underused slow time and the near-forgotten Energy Twister concept, while the Demon Hunter set focuses on generators and multi-shot damage amplification. I have to say, while the Wizard and Demon Hunter sets feel memorable and different, I cannot help but question if their mid to close range playstyle will fit the Greater Rift metagame, where incoming damage quickly outscales anything you can reasonably mitigate. There is a chance that this concern will be less impactful than I anticipate. Blizzard did announce 2 new legendary gems as well, both with strong defense focus. The Esoteric Alteration focuses on upfront mitigation, which is useful only to a certain threshold, but the Molten Wildbeast Gizzard has a very strong regeneration effect, which is an outlier in an expansion where healing struggles to fit in. Also, updates to less used legendary gems to bring them up to par with the current favorites like the Banes, Myrinae, and Enforcer. It's encouraging to know that the team keeps close track of gem distribution, and I'm curious to see how they update Moratorium and Invigorate to reflect their current standing. Another change coming up: the current penalty for dying in Greater Rifts, respawning you back at the last checkpoint, will be replaced by a timer growing for each consecutive death, but the system will allow you to respawn where you died. No longer will you hope for a dense but short level to lessen the impact of an unfortunate death. This might lead to a further devaluation of mobility skills in Greater Rifts. I'll certainly think less of including Steed Charge in the future, but I'm generally happy with that change. One suggestion that I have is to add the time penalty not to the respawn timer but directly to the progress bar. This way, even if you overestimate your ability to handle the rift, you'll still fail but won't have a painful downtime with no action at all. New goblins are a fun diversity improvement. Their various drops will be helpful in early seasonal play, and their newfound tendency to run towards enemies should be a nice improvement to the pacing of farming, since you won't have to randomly backtrack to kill them. Changes to layouts of towns and farming locations are more than welcome. The former is going to reduce the downtime in base, while the latter is going to strengthen the feeling of playing a randomized dungeon crawler rather than a fixed campaign cutout. Streamlining dead ends will also be helpful. With the change, long corridors should reliably lead into the next level, while dead end parts should be reduced to a room or two. And now for the less exciting parts. Trial runs will receive a facelift rather than be subject to removal. Developers promise better pacing and less spiky damage, but I still maintain that trials are a poor way to judge your Greater Rift potential. For example, my Stampede Crusader fails in trials versus my Condemned spec, even though it performs better in actual Greater Rifts. Right now, trials are a frustrating time sink that slipped by the 2.1 PTR phase because of the shorter test seasons. The problem becomes more apparent as time goes on. The proposition to replace trial keys with the drop-down menu of levels you completed plus 1 higher is an option that I vastly prefer at this point. P.S. Please let me throw trial keystones away, please! Developers also stated that they feel Rift Guardians should be revisited to be more equal in difficulty, but still feel distinct and memorable mechanics-wise, which is all fine and dandy. I would love to see Stonesinger and the Bone Warlock not being complete jokes. However, how will I differentiate Ember from Rime from Bloodmaw if pylons are not only staying in Greater Rifts, but will actually appear even more consistently? If you're able to reliably get a conduit in a Greater Rift and you're a smart player, you'll save it up right till the end, clear a few nearby stragglers to get the 100% completion, and the unique mechanics of the Guardian fight will be lost, because you'll clear him in 5 seconds. The Diablo team announced a new rarity tier, Ancient Legendaries, that will stand head and shoulders above what we currently know as the endgame items, the Legendaries. Ancient Legendaries will be up to 30% better in their attributes, and understandably will be more rare than their legendary counterparts. While I hesitate to say that this addition is necessarily bad, because hey, I'm out of items to grind as much as the next Diablo addict, it doesn't seem especially attractive either. I'll save my concerns about the latter impact of that tier until I get a feel for the drop rates as a serious player on the PTR. But most of all, the Ancient property is extremely straightforward. It's not going to affect the legendary property of the item, just the numbers above it. In its place, I would have preferred to see more and more varied legendary gems, perhaps ones that are socketable in armor slots rather than jewelry, and even an update to the effects of regular gems in helms and weapons, because let's face it, gold find and magic find bonuses in the current metagame are pretty laughable. I purposefully saved the best for last, my favorite part of the Diablo announcements, the inclusion of an entirely new zone, the Ruins of Sescheron, a bunch of new monsters, and a new Rift Guardian. As strange as it might seem to be excited about a non-mechanics change, I'm actually a pretty big lore nerd, as my long-running Sanctuary Sunday series might indicate. New tilesets and art assets provided as part of a free patch is something I didn't dare hope for, and I'm very happy that the Diablo team is committed to updating a game I haven't paid a dime for since March. Getting to see the barbarian capital that Bale himself ruined is a childhood dream come true, and I'm certain that the art department will do it justice. For this Blizzard, a heartfelt thank you. I cannot wait to explore that zone. So this is it, an exhaustive list of my impressions from the Diablo panels at Blizzcon 2014. Some news were great, others were concerning, but mostly I'm hyped to experience it all. If I could jump on the PTR right now, I would, and this speaks volumes. I hope the team delivers on all promises, that they prove me wrong on my worries, and that they keep their minds and hearts open to community feedback. In any case, I hope you enjoyed my thoughts, and if you did, I would appreciate your subscription to my channel, talk to me on Twitter and Facebook that I link below, watch me live at twitch.tv/thedeadset, and I'll see you guys next time.